Okay, what up? Hey guys, what up? How you guys doing? Monday, and we are lagging in PoE, so fun stuff. A bit of what up, Kyo? How you doing? A bit of sad news. Our AG died this morning, so we have two options from this point. We can either regear him, which honestly, I think I can regear him in like 10 divines. Shouldn't be anything too serious. The crafting would just be the biggest, would be the painful step, simply because if I remember correctly, I need to use my veiled orb, but that's about it. I have currency, and I haven't even liquidated all my currency. This is just what I just liquidated off the top of my head. What else is there? Or, which is, and this is what I'm more leaning towards, we could play around with some ideas, and because I really like, I genuinely want to try going for, champion and stacking effect and going banners. But there's a few things that I haven't really gotten an idea that I love, right? I had one that I came up with like late last night, and I cooked up the POB. Everything was looking beautiful. Then I realized in true GGG fashion, there was a keyword in the description that I overlooked. Then when I found out that that was the case, it just broke the entire build idea. Like, it was centered around that thing being the way it was, and then I found out it wasn't that way. So like, that was kind of discouraging. You got your DPS up to 10.5. Congratulations. Big upgrades. Enjoying the build? I know you said you play melee, so I assume you are. How do your defenses feel with your new DPS increase? Okay, so for now, let's start off with what I'm thinking of. Like I said, I'm thinking of going effect stacking and banners. I want to play around with banners because I like the idea of having a million movement speed, just because I'm in my banner range. I like the idea. I like the idea of the banner being big enough to go off screen, and me having like that breathing room. What I don't like, this is what I don't like about that idea. I would love, and I actually mean this genuine, I would love to have this on a chains of command setup, but like with all banner gameplay, if you really want to use them, you kind of need to use this, and this takes the spot of your chains of command. So like, it just breaks. Like, I really want to use banners, but without this chest piece. I guess one thing I could also see is, I guess it could also just not be as bad. What do I mean? This was the POB I made, by the way. That was that isn't possible. Like, it's just not realistic, simply because of an enchant. I was building around an enchant and the enchant didn't work the way I wanted it to. But that's not why I'm opening this POB. I'm opening this POB to check out if it shows that is. I want to see my character's valor, increased valor generation, I guess. Well, I don't think I can easily see this anywhere. Is there anywhere I can see like my total increased valor, like gain chance, yada yada? Because I mean, we don't have the 20% yet, but like, you see these 20% valor gains, they are in red, so it means I can't even see it. But I guess I could manually count it. This is 20, 40. If I get this, it's 60, 80, 100%. This is just aura effect, so it has no bearing on the valor. I think that's all for banners, at least. And then this one is, yeah. So if you're looking at 100%, this means we should be getting what, 60% of the valor consumed, when we leave the banners area, which should take us from dropping 105 to about 60 something valor, which isn't bad, but then we have to wait the remaining time to get back to 105, which is where the chess piece comes in, because it allows us to actually build those valor stacks while we are in the banner, to then the moment we leave be able to recast it. I know for the piano builds, they take advantage of this a whole lot more. My idea is just I'm going to use this with an automatic war cry and basically have this give me 5 valor every second or every 2 seconds. You know, so as I touch a pack, I should be getting valor and moving like that. I love bleed quick. I'm glad you're enjoying the build. How is your farming going? Your currency farm. What are you playing around with? What are you trying? Or has been your bigger money maker this league? 30 max valor. So basically that's kind of, if I had perfidy, I assume that's how you pronounce it, perfidy, then while I'm in the banner area, I'm still triggering the shout, which is giving me 5 valor when possible. But because of my increased valor gain, this is actually going to be like somewhere along the lines of 10 valor. I'll be getting 10 valor as I'm inside it and performing those cries, and whenever we're done we run out and then we get 60-ish valor back, and all it will take is like literally 4 war cries, I think, to be on at max valor again, something like that. So get 60 back, have like what's it called, if this procs twice, already have 20, so are looking at 80, so I'll have to do it like 2 more times to have max valor. So in theory it should take like 6-ish seconds, 7-ish seconds to get to max valor with a perfidy. But without, what's gonna happen is we're gonna have 60, we leave. If we try to do it in the next area, the thing that's gonna happen is we're going to now have 30% of that when we leave, which is not then going to be like 20 or something, or 15. Actually it's 15, I think. No, it's not 15, it's more than 15, it's 20. And it just keeps going down from there. Even if I have this proccing in the time when I am in between banners, it's still just not nearly as reliable, so change of command just doesn't work. Then my next idea was AG of smiting. Just in case you're curious, I said my new PoE on Twitch. Yeah, I see it. Let's take a peek. New weapon. You switch from a 2-hander to a 1-hander and shield, right? Or am I thinking of a different PoE? Okay. I mean, now your cluster jewel is filled up, so that's really good. You have versatile combatant, your gladiator, so you have you're basically capped on block, right? Okay, you have a 9% block chance and max spell suppression, so you're chilling. Oh, you added a cluster jewel here too. Not bad. What are the notables? Battle hardened, master the fundamentals, and force multiplier. My main moneymaker has been the ships. Oh, the ships. Curious. What has your strat been? That reminds me. Thank you for reminding me. I wanted to test out the ships. I sent out a shipment that looks something like, I'm gonna show you guys. 2 mil, basically a 2 mil shipment. It has a mil in dust. So this is what I sent. This was the quota as well as this. So let's see what we get. I assume there'll be at least a few divines in there. Especially with a million whatever. With a million dusts. Nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. We did get runes, but like that's it. Yeah, it wasn't worth it. Now, granted, like I think if I sent a lot less in the way of like if I just sent a lot less in the way of dust, I think I'd have been fine. Yeah, we're going to ignore this for now. We'll let King's March build up. We farmed a bunch of gold today, so we shouldn't have to worry about this for the next day. And then in that time, I'm hoping I can just figure out what I want to do in terms of my next build and go from there. But yeah, lots of changes, but it looks good. Max res 77 on the 6s, and you know, earthquake, blood magic, ailment immune, I assume. You have pride determination. Do you get ailment immunity from somewhere else? Freeze avoid chance 100%. So you're not ailment immune, but you do have some chance to avoid ailments. Oh, you're not shock immune, are you? No. Okay. Eventually, you want to look at ailment immunity, but I think for now you are solo the Brian King, so it's less like you don't really need to care about it too much. Are you sure you still want to be on help Alira? Equal dust to my crop/ores. That's what I did. The crops and ore was 1 mil there, so I sent a million dust match it. Well, I think I just got unlucky there. Anyways, are you sure you want this to be a bandit quest? Because if you were to sell an onyx amulet and 20 orbs of regrets, you will get a book that would allow you to respec into kill all. Onyx amulet and 20 orbs of regrets. By doing this, you're going to drop, you lose the 15 to all res, so maybe a lightning res, you know, and then you just switch it to kill all to get your last band point, and then you can just use that because it's a free point. If you want to know if you have the points from the bandits, just do /passives. If you took another reward from the bandit, you would see this deal with bandits is 0. So you can just do that to confirm that you didn't get your passive point. The /passives, make sure this is 1. If it isn't, then you might want to consider switching it, especially in the end game, because I mean in the end game, unless you really need maybe movement speed, like none of the bandits are worth that extra point. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I wanna play around with the idea of going banners, but I still need to figure out what skill to do. The skill I would really, and this is the honest truth, the skill I would really want to play around with in terms of banners is AG or Chains of Command, and the main reason is simply because it's this season we got rune smithing enchant. I want to play around with this. I really do. I think the fact that minions didn't get any good Rootsmithing enchant is a shame. But the fact that we can run many of these on an AG slash on chains of command is kind of what I'm trying to take advantage of. And I'm also trying to stay clear of the more expensive ones. So, because one idea I had that would have been a total gamble was AG or Smiting, Dual Wield, Shrine Buff, and Replica Headhunter. That would probably I see no reason why that wouldn't work, because none of these are skills. The AG should be able to properly use these. And you just go from there, because it's like staff. Okay, you can't dual wield because it's staff, so never mind. Not dual wield, but one or the other. I was leaning more towards the replica headhunter, this one. But shrine is also a good one. But these things cost like over 100 divines at this point, and I'm not willing to spend that on some wacky build I can't really PoB to make sure it'll be good, you know. So kind of staying clear of that. What else have I looked into? I'm thinking about this one. This one could be really good, especially on what's it called? Especially like it's a two-handed mace. So I would have loved this on the chains of command build. I would have loved this on the chains of command, because all of your weapons will get phase damage as extra early. Then you just go ham on scaling your phase. You maybe throw in, what's the name of this thing? You throw in Triad's Grip to convert all the extras that are not being converted, and you just have like big elemental damage. And the Triad's Grip, you don't really need to care about the colors too much, because this is of each element, so you're going to be doing tri-elements regardless. So you could just do, if you need the colors, you just go 2 blues, 1 green, 1 red. Overall, you probably just want 1 of each color, and then the last one is a bonus to whatever you need, right? Probably lean more towards cold, to be honest, because of Hatred being phased as extra cold. It just gives you a lot more scaling room when it comes to physical damage, and you know, using that. So probably 2 green, 1 blue, 1 red, you go. That is an option. 4 power runes is still on the okay side. I can manage that. If you want to, you're wondering about chains build with Banishing Blade or Vanish. We can look at this. So you said Vanishing Blade, right? Or you said Banishing. I have never heard of this weapon. I feel like I have. Oh, it's a base type. Attack, critical strikes ignore monster early res. And then he has a 6.5 base crit chance. I mean, it's not bad. I think there are also axes that have something similar but for phase damage. It's not a bad idea. It's a two-handed sword, so it has there's a certain rune smithing enchant I think I saw on two-handed swords earlier. Or I think actually no, it was one-handed, which is this one. I think this one caught my interest too. Scaling dot multi with crits and then going a one-handed sword could be interesting, but two-handed sword, is there any that has caught my eye on that? I feel like there was, I just don't remember which one. Early damage as no, not that one. In the case of that sword or that base type, we would want maybe something like this, or just elemental damage. We don't want chaos, seeing as we're ignoring. This would probably be this one. I think is what you would want. You're an all bandits guild, okay. Then yeah, that works. This one would probably be very interesting to have. Like this one would pair really well with this. The only problem I have with this scaling axis is a big damage multi so far on chains build is reducing the enemy's early res below 0. So this would basically set it to where they didn't have resistances. So curses don't matter, exposure doesn't matter. Taking increased damage still matters. So like if you shock them, that still helps. What else is there? If you shock them, it helps. If you give your AG a shaper helmet that increase elemental damage taken by enemies or nearby enemies, that would work. But Scorch wouldn't work. Curses wouldn't work. Pen wouldn't work. Actually, no, Pen would work. No. Does Pen work with this? I don't think so. Pen doesn't work with this. Pen works with negative res, but not with this. So yeah, Pen wouldn't work. What else? So if you were to, but then here's another thing. Yeah, it shouldn't work. But then there's the fact that if you go crits, well, it's crits. So you could easily have a multi of like 4x, and with 4x damage and not worrying about early res, you might be able to scale it to a fair bit. Because I have looked at a lot of different base types, and for context as to what I'm currently running, I actually found this pretty interesting. I don't even know if I think I have to scroll a bit to find my current weapon. But basically, it is a pneumatic dagger, which means, let me see if I can find it, which means I can poison with elemental damage on minions, which I just thought was very nice. So all damage from hits can poison. This is what I had. I think I switched this, but this is, I got this so I could use it with AG earlier, but yeah, this is what I was running. I crafted this weapon for a lot of money, but it was worth it. Totally worth it. There, other than swords, so like this one would work very well. What other enchants I did I think would work? Fizz as extras would. I think we saw Fizz as extra wall fire. That would work. I don't think there's any enchant that increases I don't think there's any enchant that increases critical strike chance, right? Would you I'm guessing with this version you would be running a Ancient Skull, is that what it's called? The mask with the mask that makes your minions hear whispers and ignore you pretty much. I'm kind of very averse to that mask simply because I love Convocation. Like I'm actually quite averse to it. Like I don't know how it actually play out in practice. But I'm just like, yeah, I don't want my AG to have to deal with that. I know you can make it so your AG doesn't deal with that. You can make it so your AG doesn't deal with that by making him do no crits. Or and there are some other interactions you could do, or you could just allow him to, you know, you just make sure he doesn't die to it and allow it. Not meh. But yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. This was the idea I was playing around with last night. I thought that this enchant meant that I could basically just scale fire res, and that would give my minions increased fire damage, and I could go off of that. But this is, like I said, this is one of those things where GGG's wording kind of just killed it, where it's like it gave me hope and then it took it away. Because this doesn't say uncapped or overcapped fire res. So it just says fire res above 75, which means effectively to scale this, you just need to increase your max res, and then any value it has over 75% is what it's going to use as for the increased damage. So if you were to have 90% fire res, which would be the cap, and you got a perfect roll on this, then you would have 150% increased fire damage, and that's about it. It was a very big disappointment because in my head I was looking at 6,000, 7,000 increased damage because I could then really scale my minions fire res. I could make them very tanky with Informless Inferno. Like life was good, and I plan on using this with an AG of Smiting to make an Ignite build. That way, with Ignite, he's able to proliferate and really get good wave clear without explode. And with Formless Inferno, he gets to be tanky even as AG of Smiting. But that didn't quite pan out. So now I'm going to be looking probably at, if I'm going to actually pursue said build, I'd probably be looking at, you know, running with either a two-hander or a one-hander, but either way we're going to be scaling the smite. But there's a couple points where I think scaling with the smite is kind of awkward, especially with what I want to do, which is I want to go champion and I want to use banners. I like the idea of the movement speed we get from banners, the free suppress, the block, everything. I kind of want to play around that, and I would really love to do that on Chains of Command. Like you have no idea how much, but I haven't been able to think up a way to make it work without the perfidy, and the perfidy is a chess piece. So maybe there's some other, you know what? Let's see. Let's just check. Is there anything else we could do for Valor? Like, I know about the nodes that give increased Valor gained and whatnot. I would like some not perfidy thing that I can use to get a similar effect, or at least just be able to maintain my banners without using any melee skills on the minion build. That would be ideal. I know I can use war cries, but that wouldn't be permanent if I can't regen during the effect of the banners. And I think that's actually unique to that unique, which is kind of why it's a unique ball. Is there a way to get rid of Eramir's favor book? I got one just in case and now I can't get rid of it. When you try using it, what does it say? It just doesn't let you? If it doesn't let you, you might be able to drag and drop it outside your inventory and just destroy it while in town. Yeah, it's only perfidy that does that. Like I'm just hoping there's like, this is so neglected. There's nothing. I'm hoping that there's some way I can. It doesn't even have the perfidy, right? I don't have to use it while I have banners. But so long as I can scale my valor gained enough to where the champion node can actually carry, and instead of gaining 30%, I can gain 100% of the valor consumed. That'd be nice. But I don't think this is possible. Because I think by my calculation, I need 30% increase valor gained, and the tree only gives us 100%. So, yeah. It says you already have it. And you can't just destroy it. Try selling it to a vendor. Maybe that would work. Quality is just duration, which is not what we're looking for. Because it's just awkward. Because one thing to note about banners is if I were to even decide, okay, I'm just going to go ham, go perfidy, go all the valor region, have perma banners, yada yada, that would mean I go champion, which I don't mind. But that would also mean that there has to be a trade-off, or there has to be a reason why I would choose to go this damage wise, because then I'll be losing a lot of damage from. Then they give 20 regrets back. Okay, that worked out then. That worked out. So yes, I'm trading off going Necromancer, so I'm losing the 10% more damage from the tree. I'm losing potentially Fist to Chaos, Free Wither. I'm losing attack speed, cast speed on my auras, and just minion early rares, which with banners it kind of replaces that easily. I'm not losing block, but maybe spell block, maybe AoE. It depends, right? So I have to make sure what I gain in return is worth the trade-off. Now, if we were to look at AG of Smiting specifically, right? With AG of Smiting, you cannot gain any offensive benefits from banner, because the only banner with offensive benefits is War Banner, is this one. But what are the benefits? Accuracy, which we really don't care about because we are champions. We taunt, they get taunted and they can't evade, so we don't care about accuracy. And we have taunt or an auto cry every 1.9 seconds or 1 something like that. So accuracy is useless. So then it comes to this one. This one means there is something we can scale this one, but if we scale this, it needs to be physical damage with melee skills, which means we can go for a minion that has physical damage with conversion. So long as the skills have the melee tag, it works. But that is where it gets tricky, because for example, AG of Smiting should have this, but the reality is the lightning damage that comes down from the sky, that in itself does not have a melee tag, so it wouldn't benefit from this buff. The slam or the hits that cause the lightning, that one does. That is the melee part, but the lightning itself doesn't benefit from it. It benefits from like other modifiers to physical and yada yada, but it doesn't have the melee tag to benefit from this. So it kind of makes it awkward to then say, okay, I'm going to give up on Necro for this. And then defensively, I'm also losing on minion defensives. Now, in theory, with the movement speed I'm getting from my banners, with the defensive benefits, I as a character should be much tankier. So 100% I'll be more tankier. I should be able to more easily get into T17s if I can figure out damage. That's the if. Now, there are a few minions I have in mind to where, you know, we could just probably make this work. Being melee minions specifically, I'm thinking along the lines of Spectres. Spectres would be easy to make this work if I go something like maybe a Wicker Man, assuming Molten Strike has the melee tag, then it should be a no-brainer. If not Wicker Man, we could look at maybe Perfect Runic Skeletons. And with Perfect Runic Skeletons, we could even try dabbling in strength stacking as well to give them some extra increased damage. But the problem with Runic Skeletons is if I were to do strength stacking, then scaling the two modifiers I want to scale is more awkward. What do I mean? This gives us more physical damage in melee skills, right? We are going to be getting a lot of increased damage via strength stacking. So what exactly do we really need for this build to really scale the damage? We have a lot of increase and we have a lot of more. So what do we need to scale it? We need flat damage. We need to give it a lot of flat damage. Now I could potentially go life stacking with links, but I don't like links, so that's not an option for me at least. What else could we do? We could go adorned, which is I like the idea of adorned. Well, the problem with the adorned approach is you would then be scaling all this flat damage for only one minion, and that has like insane diminishing returns on minion flat damage numbers, because it's just not worth it. It's just it's not high. So now, granted, we would probably craft our own weapons, so we also have that added flat damage from there, but that's about it. So these are kind of like the things that I'm thinking about as I'm considering what to run as the banner minioner. And then of course with strength stacking, we either go Wraith Lord or we go we either go Wraith Lord or we go, what's the name of the other one? Baron. Baron also gives us leech, so that's also an added bonus. We just get, if we get up to 1,000 strength, we get free leech. But that's if we have zombies. We can go for a zombie runic skeleton approach. Scale the increase from the strength, scale the more from the banner, scale the flat from maybe adorn jewels, and go from there. What else is something else we can do with melee minions? What else is a good melee minion? That is the question. That is the real question we need to answer now. What are good melee minions? If we can get something that has the numbers and is permanent, that would work. Skeletons are too squishy. Even with all the buffs we're giving them with spell suppress yada yada, I will still probably need to respawn them. Plus, if you're going skeletons, you kind of have to go Iron Mass. I'm not really looking to go Iron Mass. Zombies are not a bad idea. Zombies would actually work pretty well, and we would be making them a whole lot tankier than they typically are. But zombies at their core are pretty squishy. So we might just have to slap on a Formless Inferno nevertheless. Carrion Golems. Carrion Golems. I actually don't know how Carrion Golems typically scale their damage. Like I've seen the build here and there with primordial jewels, but what is the main? How does having, let's say, I think because we could have like maybe 3-4 golems. I'm thinking, can we even get 3-4 golems? We don't have access to Elementalist. I don't mind the idea of Carrion Golems. I haven't played it before. It intrigues me. We wouldn't have to do anything niche like strength stacking. But let's look at Carrion Golem builds to get a feel for what that looks like. What did I just see? You are not used to the danger a monster can pose. Why does it look like Jonathan is like a fighting pose or something? Oh no, he died. Oh no, poor DM. This is why I don't play hardcore. I see this, I'm like, that doesn't motivate me to play hardcore. That just makes me not want to touch it. Anyways, PoE Carrion Golem. Let's just see Carrion Golems. I'm not sure I would want a 12 link, but I also don't care too much if I go 12 link or not. So there's 4 Carrion Golems here. This is uber serious. Yeah, that's a lot of DPS. All right, let's see how. No POB? Exactly. I guess let's look. What the hell? It's in this one? Question mark? Is my guy trying to farm views like this? What the fuck? All right, we move on to the next one. I don't have the patience for this. No POV, the ultimate gatekeeper. Exactly. I'm like, what? What are you even doing, my guy? Why? So this is a 12 link. Do I mind 12 link? Not really. I don't want to go poison because poison would involve unholy mites. I don't have access to unholy mites. I don't want to do chaos. I know most Carrion Golems probably go chaos. Either chaos hit or chaos poison. Paste bin. Okay, let's see. I assume it got everything. Yeah, it did. New import. $225 mil DPS. Insane. Where's Carrion Golem? What if I made a 12 link for Anime Guardian of Smiting? What if? So the main damage axis here is an insane amount of, I guess, I'm guessing this is, wait, what? Combo attack. I should be looking at a combo attack. What is this? They have a lot of different, okay, this is a 2x multiplier. Oh, okay, so a lot of increased, a decent chunk of mores because someone Carrion Golem has 5% per non-golem minion. Oh yeah, I forgot Carrion Golem even has that. Multi-strike combo, Plague Bringer, Awaken, multi-strike. What does Carrion Golem's base flat damage look like? Does it say? No, it does not. Wait, it does. 434 to 651. How good is your Anarchic Spirit Blade? Jesus Christ, all level 20s. 20 ruthless, crit chance, strike, crit damage, 40, 80, and +1. And then minion ASCS. Oh, this is Crucible. Okay, that kind of makes more sense. But at the same time, even with this, I'm kind of still intrigued by the PoE, even ignoring the fact that it has a Crucible tree, because Crucible tree is not the reason it has more than 100 mil DPS. As 4x Slumlords, right? Slumlords, so 80, 80, 80. Okay, so this is a 20. Okay, no, it does have 3 Slumlords, and then it has minion life. That's a lot of increase. Then we have Vicious Bites Renewal. What is our critical strike chance? 66%. I hate how hard it is to scale crit chance without trolling your build with something like a Matters teaching. You have this, which is expected. Did this person go Carrion Golem of Hordes or just regular Carrion Golem? Or just regular Carrion Golem? So additional face damage for non-golem minions and more damage per non-golem minion up to 50%. So that's 10. Why don't I try the idea of a 12 link on AG of Smiting? That might honestly be a pretty decent scaling axis. Because I've been trying to stick to six links / 7 links because it's the more budget friendly thing. It's what people would have an easier time following versus having to craft a complex weapon like a 12 link. Plus, I just find crafting 12 link weapons to be tedious and kind of annoying to do. Aspect of the Avian. Are they trying to scale double damage chance? Is there anywhere here that it says double damage chance? Because Avian's might is a thing. I assume They have renewal? Question mark? Yep, renewal. They didn't go for this though. Renewal. So yeah, they are trying to stack a bit of double damage chance. Not too much because they don't have it here, but enough. This is the link for a 12 link with a new info on the combinator. What do you mean? Like to try to get 12 link with recombinators? I mean, it could be possible. Albeit it's kind of stressful. Because you can always lose any base. You can always like you need to have a fair number of bases with the stats you're looking for. I know like my current one on my chains of command build, that one I use recombinator. Double influence weapon crafting has never been easier. So yeah, you get like 40%. I assume none of the influence mods would have like none of the influence mods would have, what am I thinking of? Oh yes, none of them would be exclusive, right? Spicy Sushi has one for 12 link weapon. All right, let's peek at it real quick. Spicy. I'm pretty sure it's a long one, right? Because I watched the I read the Reddit post and it was pretty straightforward. It's just, well,
the problem is I have to make the VLS dagger now.
Let's see.
Because this is not a good guide to follow because I spent like 2 times more than average because it was 30% quality. We actually have to make the VLS dagger so that we actually have an actual guide. What is the dagger? Ambush? Imperial Skein is the best? Really? I guess it depends. We're just going to do an ambusher. If you can use this exact method for a Skein. So, I mean, you can do whatever. We're just going to do an ambusher. I mean, technically, if we make the Imperial Skein, we can have that for mirror service, though. So we should do Imperial Skein for people who, for a second mirror service, right? Although this is, after this method comes out, I don't know if anyone's going to be mirroring these anymore. I have to push through, dude. We got to get the guide out by tomorrow. Flames could get it out today. And then we destroy the entire economy.
Okay, I'm back.
Because everyone gets to make their 100 divine VLS daggers.
50 to 70 D.
Like 20 daggers before we start, because this is going to be the cheap but rigorous method.
All right.
Bro, these are all elder, man. I need some shaper ones. I think we already wrote up what we're going to do here. This is the write-up. This is the write-up. All right. If you don't want to mirror a dagger and you want to make your own, we are first going to create Claw A. Claw A is going to be crit damage and crit strikes. We are then going to multi-mod with 2 exclusive prefixes and aspect of the cat.
Yes, this is.
I don't know if we need to go this far, but we're gonna go over the top just to, I don't know, just cause.
You know what? I should probably have something like this for what I want to do. Because I kind of have one. Did I hear something from the game? I kind of have one, or I kind of did one mentally with with the dagger I made. Not dagger, one rather. It's just I didn't have a structured list. So this is basically doing that, but with multiple steps. But each step is like a 50-50. So I'm assuming each step is not expensive in and of itself, but with the number of steps that it would take to get what you want, like that is where the
Claw A is going to be crit damage, crit strikes.
I guess friction comes in.
Mods. Claw B is going to be crit damage and faster attacks with 4 exclusive mods. We are then going to take Claw A and pair it with Claw C, which will have socketed more attack damage and crit damage.
You don't think? Okay.
Suffix with 4 exclusive mods. And this should be an extremely high chance of success. This should be like an insanely high chance of success. How many suffixes are on Claw A and C?
70%.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Oh,
not bad.
Okay, no aspect of the cat. Do I need to fix it? 1, 2. No, this one's good. Okay, no aspect of the cat. Dude, no one corrected me earlier, man. It's not my fault, dude. No one backseated me earlier. You guys didn't backseat me earlier. All right, now we're good. Okay. Claw A is going to be crit damage, crit strikes, triple exclusive. Claw C is going to be.
I love that. I love the crafted prefixes are just exclusive. So
damage,
if you ever need that, you just slap on
and it should
multi-mod and
prefixes. Like literally 75%, 75%. I think. Yo, Spin, thank you for the
okay, it says 75.
Appreciate it, man. So there should be a 3 mod item that's ready to be recombinated. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Step 1 is to create Claw A and Claw B. Claw A and Claw B. Crit damage, crit strikes. Crit damage, faster attacks. Fuck, I need yellow. We're gonna make a blue. Do we bother? Yeah, let's make an imprint so I don't have to keep buying these things. Oh, whoops. I'm pretty sure if you just really wanted to just save as much money as possible, you would not imprint here. What the hell is that, dude? Okay.
He's reforging speed until speed and crits, was it?
Nice, okay. Well, that worked. Since this is the Skeen, it's a lot harder than a claw, or than not a claw, an ambusher. This is gonna be way harder than an ambusher to hit.
But he's just isolating the mods.
What the fuck? Crit damage. What the fuck, dude? I'm just hitting everything, bro. Oh, we don't actually have to. We're just gonna imprint the elder ones, to be honest, or the shaper ones for now. You know what? Let's just see how far we can go with this. Okay, so we're gonna do. I'm just gonna spend a lot here just to make things easier on myself. Since imprints are only 1 div, fuck it. Explode 1, no focus. Yeah, I have a base. It's on the to-do list. It's on the to-do list. All right, first one is gonna be okay. Yeah, we got 2 crit damage here. Hopefully, we just hit first try. What the spell echo? We're gonna find claw. You can do this exact method with the claw. All right, so just hold up.
How did he get spell echo?
Just hit everything first try. That's also in the guide, by the way. All right, first base done. This is gonna be. This is okay, it's not claw. This is, in this case, this is dagger. So dagger A. What dagger is this? We've created dagger A. No, this is not dagger A. This is dagger B. Okay, dagger B is done. Now we need to make dagger A.
A or C.
Now we need to make dagger A. We've made B, time to make A. Try number 2, crit damage on top of crit strikes, and we hit. Open suffix, nice. All right, dagger A is done. Now we need to make a dagger C and dagger D.
I mean, it looks straightforward so far.
We gotta make, okay, we've made A and B, time to make C and D. And then we make...
Well, we also haven't hit the recombination step
okay,
yet.
So here's where we're at. We've made A and B. Now we need to make C and D, and then we're gonna combine A with C to make claw F, and then we're gonna combine claw B and D to make claw E, and then we're gonna combine claw F and claw E to make the finished claw. Okay, that's all it is. All right, that's all it is.
Seems straightforward enough. Let's see. Because if I can realistically make a good, like a proper good 12 link, that's something I would probably look for. Look at trying to craft at least.
Socketed attack with
while we have recombinators, and hopefully recombinators stay till next league.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to roll that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to alt spam that shit. Honestly, I wonder if we even need to bother making claw C or dagger D, C or D.
Dagger D.
I wonder if we just like send it like this. I'm not gonna lie. Just fucking send it like this with 2 versus 1. Or I think we should probably double up. It's really not hard to double up. It's pretty easy. Let's just go ahead and do it because it should make our chances better. More attack is going to be with crit damage. So we need to
How do you even keep track of all these imprints you have? Like that, you get annoying to keep track of.
All right, there we go. Let's do it. Let's make another one. I mean, yeah, it's a shit ton of work and it's very like rigorous, but you're making a mirror weapon, okay? Okay, they're not a mirror. They're like 400 divine. It's like a 400 divine weapon, all right? Come on, dude. Crit damage. Nice. Okay, we're good. All right, here we go. I did not keep track of the imprints, bro.
Yep.
I mean, some people legit are gonna want to mirror it just so they don't have to go through the pain that this is gonna be. I'm just gonna be honest. This could take us like 5 hours. I'm not gonna lie. Like this could legitimately take us like 5 hours.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First try.
Sounds about right.
Fuck. This is gonna be really hard, actually. We got to get rid of that cold damage. It's a 50-50 here. No matter what. Nice. All right, claw C. Is this C? This is claw C. Claw C is done. Okay, not a claw, dagger, whatever, dagger. Dagger C is done. Now we need to make dagger D. Dagger D. Dagger D is dagger dick.
Low.
Wed.
I was just waiting for it. Like it had to come out at some point. he had to say it at some point.
Easy to follow as I can. Okay. It's kind of hard. I'm trying my best. All right. If you don't want to do what I did and spend currency, spend 2 divines to create a blue base, you would just alt spam everything. I just did it because I'm lazy. Probably shouldn't put laziness in the guide, but I got sidetracked. Where are we? We have crit strikes, crit damage, which is claw A, and now we have more attack and crit damage. Claw C. Claw A plus claw C is claw. It's going to be, if we succeed, it's going to be claw F. Okay, so we multi-mod on both.
This on
2 exclusive prefixes on both.
So 1 prefix, 1 suffix,
aspects.
and then no,
We just
aspect
like
is suffix.
Okay. 2 chosen prefixes with multi-mod. I don't know if the overlap matters here. I'm just going to do this just in case. So we have 6 total exclusive mods. So our chances here are going to be pretty fucking good of success. If we fail, I'm going to be sad. I'm pretty sure it's like a 26% chance of fail on prefixes and suffixes. So really low chance of failure here. You want full suffixes on every recom? Okay, well then we do have to do an aspect.
I believe so.
On one at least. Okay, one.
Because the way I know to do this, or the way I think the Ready post said was you would have 2 exclusive prefixes on one, and then an exclusive, and then 2 exclusive suffixes, i.e., can have up to 3 and aspects, and then the other would have 2 exclusive suffixes and 1 exclusive prefix. What's up? Streaming, by the way. How come? Juno's pretty good. Channel and my inventory is so full of BS. Oh yeah, this. My league start was kind of weird, where I had a mix of I wasn't dropping anything and I was kind of okay, but then I streamed for a long time, so I kind of still had currency, but not too much, not as much as nearly as much as I would have expected to after farming for as long as I did opening weekend. Plus, early on, June isn't as much money when it comes to veiled orbs. Like literally no money.
So our chances are already 100%, is what you're saying. So we should just do
aspect on at least one of them.
Suffix, 5 on prefix, and it's still fine. This shit is so complicated. Okay,
yes, it is.
We'll just do,
it actually bloody is.
Aspect is worse. All right, I'll trust that. Aspect is worse. Okay.
How is aspect worse?
And this is how we'd want to do it. All right, we'll do that. Here we go. This
is it like specifically on a step like this, dude, or as a exclusive suffix?
It's gonna be 1, 2, 3. There's 3 total recombinations. Technically, you could finish in 3. For us, it's gonna probably be 10 million. Okay, we save the more attack. Nice. All right, dagger. This. Okay, we succeeded. This is now.
Yo, the fear.
Okay, now we have...
Like I feel like when I hit that recombination button, my heart is going to be in my mouth, literally. Just to fill the suffixes. Yeah, but if they said that for some reason, I guess, is it because you can't remove the aspects? Maybe that's it. Well, I don't know why aspect would be worse, other than the fact that if it is chosen, you can't remove it from the base with an annul easily, at least. Kind of what I don't understand.
Dagger F.
I assume that's why, because if it's a crafted prefix, you know, always just
now we need to make a dagger.
Remove crafted prefix or crafted mod crafts.
Dagger E needs to be made. This is way cheaper than what we did last time, where we did Reforge Influence because we had to, because the base was too rare. All right, time.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Or F. Fuck.
I feel like my RNG would be shit, but I'm gonna try this. Nice. I'm actually gonna save up for this.
Okay. Now we need 2 crit damage, and wait. Where's my other crit damage? Can you say dagger, this dagger, that dagger, the other dagger, so that Flames can just put it in wherever you just edit it in? I think we're good. Yeah, this is easy. It's just cannot roll attack. Nice. That is one nice thing about Rune Dagger is that you get a lot of non-attack mods. I will say, you get a lot of non-attack mods.
Unless you hit your cannot roll attack mods.
Rune Claw. Yep, Rune Claw. Nice. Okay. We have made Dagger. What is it called? God. This is Dagger. Should be D. Dagger D. This is Dagger D. Dagger Dick. We're going to craft multi-mod, double prefix on this. Wait, are we? No. This needs to be fixed. It's going to be chosen prefix, chosen suffix. This is A. Okay, Dagger A is fine. Chosen prefix, multi-mod. Nice. Okay. All right, 2 chosen prefixes on this one. 2 chosen prefixes. Let's do fizz damage and spell damage. These are both chosen. You can tell because they say chosen. This one is going to be a chosen prefix and a chosen suffix. Or going to be it's that fled. It doesn't matter. This one, they're all exclusive. And then we'll just do, I don't know, double damage focus, because... Wait, what?
Oh, the order is fine.
Wait, did I not put multi-mod yet? Wait, I'm so confused. Am I cooked? I didn't have multi-mod? Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I entered a state of total confusion.
I also need to find it that fled.
Confusion there.
This is an easy mod to find.
I wish I'd been only live 2.5 hours.
When you're crafting. And for some reason,
so
when I was
I don't know the exact odds. They're pretty damn
unveiling
high.
stuff, I never got his.
Pretty damn high.
At least for weapons.
Nice. And it's done. Dagger E and Dagger F. Dagger F and Dagger E. And we're going to set them up like I have here. This is the last recombination. Okay, someone already...
The final recombination.
Faster than me. Multi-mod, 2 chosen prefixes. Or exclusive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be chosen. I'm just doing chosen. Because if I do anything else, people are going to get confused. We're going to do fizz damage to spell damage. I'm not going to double up. I don't think it matters, honestly. But just in case, for some reason it does. Don't fucking know. I'm just going to keep it different. This is an It's That Fled mod. And a chosen mod. Alright. The prefixes are like...
So you're hoping it hits can have up to 3.
Like 76 or some shit. Or 74, I don't know. 72.
Let me actually look at the 2 bases real quick. So this has faster and crit damage. This has crit damage and crit strike. So because these 2 are the same, you're hoping that they get transferred. Now, you're also hoping crit strikes and faster get picked. Which, if any of these prefixes get picked, none of the other ones can get picked. And as such, just cannot get picked. And then you just get all 3 that you want. If any of these prefixes are picked. If this is picked, then none of these prefixes can get picked, and you get your 2 prefixes that you want because they are both full. Then for your suffixes, I think if it picks this, you have the chance of losing 1. Right? I'm not misunderstanding anything in this craft. If you pick this one, you have the chance of losing any of them, but because this is crit damage, you can still technically get crit damage and crit strikes, or crit strikes and faster attacks. You will probably get a combination of them. And for prefixes, you'd have 40% and this. And then, of course, from that point on, you can just have +1 socketed. And I don't know what you would do for the last suffix. maybe you settle with that. I don't know. You probably don't want to settle on a base like this, so you really just wanted to hit one of these, I think. So you're because once he hits this, he can't pick another. So he's going to pick 1 and 2, and he's going to pick 1, 2, and 3. So then you just replace the prefix. So you have a 1 in 3 chance of it picking the crafted mod you wanted to pick. Because if it picks 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're golden. This is the only one you can pick where you're kind of in an awkward situation.
Very high chance. Like 76 or some shit, or 74. I don't know.
So all we
72.
have to see is not can have up to 3. If I understand the whole recombination, the new recombinations method properly.
The suffixes don't look too great actually, but we'll see how it goes. Even if we fail, we hopefully keep 3 mods to go again. It's like you use his dagger. Okay, well then you can.
But then again, to be fair, you're not guaranteed to get 3-3. So if you don't get 3-3, if you get like 2-3, then you might lose something else. So that there is still like, you could still get fucked.
Here we go, guys.
You just hope not to.
Hopefully first try. Oh, we lost.
He got.
That means we lost.
Well, he lost.
Too. No, we didn't. Wait, what? Oh god, damn it, dude.
His suffixes were fine. It's just his prefixes. He lost.
Good, though, right?
He lost wed.
Our next recombination. This is.
So here, to recombinate this, he needs to have, I guess, an exclusive prefix, and on the other dagger, he needs to have 2 exclusive prefixes. Of course, he has to pick the prefix he wants. And oh no, he would need 2 exclusive suffixes and 1 prefix, I think. Let me see. No, he probably wants more exclusive suffixes in that case. He does want full suffixes though. So let me try to figure out what the kind of base you would want for this. Can have up to 3, 2 exclusive prefixes. I would be scared for more so for probably suffixes than prefix, since suffixes are done. So I would go maybe reforge crits. So try to get 2 like crits and go from there, or try to recombine crits together to get the suffixes to then can have up to 3 and 2 prefixes, and then the prefix you want, like 2 exclusive, then the prefix you want, and then you throw it, you YOLO eat it and hope for the best. This is how I think. If it picks can have up to, you're still kind of screwed, but you hope it doesn't pick that one as the exclusive.
Good.
But let's see how right I am.
We only need to do 1 exclusive sub. No, it's not good. I mean, I think you might just sell this normally and make some money back and go again from the start. But we'll go with this. Because what? It's gonna be initial 5, final 3, which is only what 15% worse than 6. But then our suffixes, instead of a 2 and 6, it's gonna be a 1 and 4. So I feel like this is still like a 1 in 4 to fuck it up. I mean, like not a 1 in 4 of success, like a 1 in 4 of the suffixes breaking.
Okay.
In this situation, I feel like we make dagger. Do we make dagger E? That means we double up on 2. That sounds like dagger E, right? Because then we'd be doubling up on 2 suffixes. Let's do that.
So it is what I said. So he picks 2 suffixes to have, then can have up to, then he picks what he wants, and then 2 exclusive prefixes to then recombine with what he wants, and he hopes he lands on a prefix. That way the suffixes would be basically almost guaranteed to be what he wants, and then the prefixes would have 1 crafted mod, but then should hopefully have wed and the one he has. So then you just replace the crafted suffix with +1 level of support gems, and you have your final base. That is what I'm thinking. But that is what I was suffixes, guessing would be the play forward. Prefix. You know, I only took a look at that recombination guide once, then I did it, and I kind of still remember most of what I understood from it that one time. So I think I do have a good grasp on it.
5
or at least a decent grasp.
Let's do that. If failed recombination, dagger G is
Dagger G.
This one. We're gonna do dagger G plus. We're gonna make dagger E again. Making sure.
Okay, so
right.
I think this has given me the. Wait. What exactly did he try? Okay, so this is the new base. He has crit. It has faster. This should have. Shouldn't this have wed? No, this has wed. Did he clear his prefixes? Okay, no, he's trying to make the dagger that he's going to recombine with what he wants. Okay.
Making sure we got this right. Here we go.
So he has to land on wed, crit, faster, GG.
Nice. All right, we have made dagger.
It's actually perfect because all he needs now is can have up to and then the two prefixes.
E.
That's all he has to do. So then
here. Bad idea.
Straightforward.
I'm just cooked. Here we go. Let's make 2 exclusive prefixes. He's going insane, cat.
So now you just hope the one he gets is the prefix.
Okay. So
one of the exclusive prefixes.
The prefixes, since we do no longer have 6 in the pool, it's going to be 5 initial, which is a 57%, which is worse. This is 15% worse than our previous. But instead of a 1 in 3 of failing suffixes, before the craft even rolls, we had a 33.3% chance of the suffixes failing. Now it's a 25% chance. Plus, we're doing 2 double ups on suffixes, which I feel like our odds are still really good, but that doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure you would still normally sell I think normally you would still sell the dagger on the right and just remake from the top. I'm pretty, we might actually have better odds now. All right, here we go.
Fingers crossed for you, but the video doesn't last much longer, so I assume he hits it. But yeah, this probably costs like a lot of money to craft, even with recombination. But it's still way more.
Here we go.
It's still way more. Attack. Oh, this is GG unless he doesn't pick something. Yeah, nice. GG.
It's done.
Yeah, so now he just replaces that with +1 level of socketed yada yada, and he's gone. Okay.
Why do you keep pointing at me? Enchant.
This has filled me with the confidence to try at some point. So we are going to save up for this, obviously. But now I'm more willing to look at 6-link ideas for potentially AG or smiting with the banner tech, or alternatively, potentially Carrion Golem, right? I haven't even fully understood the Carrion Golem, but I don't think, looking at this POB, right? It doesn't have the most odds of having spare points to go into banners heavily. And I don't think banners give it enough of a advantage to where it's worth even deviating from going necro, you know? 4 daggers to make 1 on recombinator. That one heart attack I don't want. Yeah, I know the feeling, because it's you have to pass step 1, which is to make a dagger. You have to pass step 2 to make the second dagger. Then you have to recombine these 2 daggers to make your final dagger. And in any one of these stages, one wrong affix, one mistake could be terrible. And even if you don't make a mistake, you could still just get royally fucked. And if you're getting royally fucked, you would honestly prefer for that to happen in the first steps, where it's okay, you just rolled for it. But if you had gone through 2 steps of recombination and you fail on the last one, that will hit really hard, really hard. So that is the part of the recombination where I'm just I really don't like. But at the same time, even with all the fails, it should still be cheaper than trying to get it the regular way of. By the way, I forgot to check. With his bases, were they double influence? He got some shapers and he got some elders. And then okay, yes, never mind. He awakened up more. He awakened orb them together, so they were all multi-mod bases. Because if you don't awaken orb them together, what's gonna happen is you cannot roll shaper mods on an elder item. So if it picks the elder base, your shaper item has automatically been disqualified because it cannot go on that base. So you have to make sure it already has the double influence before, or they both have the double influence before they go into the grinder. And you're going to basically want them to be on both of them to be on the correct bases, because you don't want a situation where on top of the RNG you are facing with the recombination process, you're also facing RNG on the base type it picks. In this case, you want to have the same base types. That way there is no real RNG. Like the only step you don't care about base types too much is on the awakening orb step, where you don't care about half of them, because you're just breaking one of those bases into the actual base you want. Right? So yeah, I will honestly look more into carrion golems. I think the fact that they can have like the more damage multiplier with each non-golem minion, coupled with the possible way. No, there's a problem with carrion golems. I just remembered. I think I remember Cat Vjad mentioning this. I think it was Cat Vjad. Summon carrion golem. I think one of their main damage skills does not have the melee tag. I think I remember seeing something like that, and that would be a problem. This has melee, this has melee, this has melee, this melee. So they all have melee, right? Is there anything here that doesn't have melee? This is Cascade, this is Multi, this is Leap Slam, this is Cascade Empowered. So they should all be able to benefit from melee supports. I know zombies obviously don't have, Slam doesn't have the melee tag, but all these are melee, so they should be able to get the boost from War Banner. Is my thinking. Okay, so AG Smiting Champion. This version was the charge stacker. Do I still want to go charge stacking? I think the idea of stacking charges to get big attack cast speed bonuses, I really like. But what I do not like... What don't I like? I don't like all the uniques it forces me into. Because if I were to deactivate my banners, just deactivate them, I was able to cap my res, I believe, with my rings, and I think I try not to use clusters for res because I hate looking for clusters like that in game. I think my rings and something else. Yeah, but these rings are perfect. Literally, like they'd be fucking expensive to get. Like actual expensive stuff, so. You'd have to use stuff like that. I know we already have endurance charges, but we still want to get to 75 cap. We don't have gloves here, and I think I was of the opinion that we could just go any gloves on this setup. So instead of this, we would lose 2 levels on the AG of Smiting. 2 levels. And of course, we're using Devourer of Minds if we're going charge stacking. And as such, we don't have access to Formless Inferno to just make AG of Smiting tankier. But I also think I had solved its... Okay, no. The max hit is clearly not solved. Unless I changed something. But I don't think I did. Yeah, these max hits are definitely not solved. They are better, you know, but they're not solved. They are not solved at all. And there is no easy way to solve them. Unless I had to reiterate the items I'm giving my AG. Which would be... I mean, in single target with Soul Eater, they should have the damage reduction, right? So, shouldn't be an issue. But that is not exactly where I'm scared of. I'm more scared of them taking a hit they shouldn't elsewhere. in T17s or something else. And I think right now we go single curse, right? No, we don't. Yeah, this is the thing where I don't think not. I think going explode is not an option for this variant. I would have liked to go explode with curse, but I don't think that's an option. Getting Legacy of Fury is Scorch and it's exploding in and of itself. I could use wind screams. That would work, I guess. But yeah, I don't think curse on hit is going to work. I don't think so. Yeah, it would have been nice DPS too. Okay, let's just test something. If I were to go this, and then I were to remove Scorch. This is 9.9 mil, right? Then if I were to deactivate this, 9.8 mil. So Scorch is actually, wait. So early weakness is slightly better than the Scorch. But there's a possibility early weakness is contributing more towards it. I also don't like how much you would have spent to get to this point of the build just to have 9 mil DPS. I think that's my biggest thing right now, is you would have spent a fair bit of money just to get to this point where you have 9 mil DPS. Now, if we were fully converting from his phase to lightning, then we can fully scale phase. What else could we do? We went staff because I was hoping to use, okay, give me a second, I actually need to pee. But before I do, I was gonna say we were hoping to go staff and replica headhunter mod on this, but with how expensive that is, I don't think I'm willing to spend that amount, especially on an AG that has the max hits we saw. So instead, we're going to decide what is a better I guess runesmithing enchant for it, and I'm personally thinking where you at? This one. It's 4 power rune, so I mean it's still expensive, but not as bad. Its phase has extra damage of each element, so we'll be doing some cold, we'll be doing some lightning, we'll be doing some fire. Now we're mostly scaling the lightning, but if we are full sending this, then we can actually kind of pivot to tri-elemental, right? We can pivot to tri-elemental. We can go with this enchant. We can go, like I said, triads great, but instead of going like all blue, we don't go 2 green, 1 blue, 1 red. We go hatred as our offensive aura of choice instead of like wrath or whatever else. That gives us an extra like 39% phase as extra cold, and we just keep scaling like that, question mark, you know, so long as we're not doing physical damage but elemental, and then we can then change our main curse to early weakness versus I think we're currently on conductivity, so we just switch to early weakness because we gain a lot of phase as extra. I just read a last Epoch Reddit feedback post where they said the game. Why a Paragon board? Of all things, a Paragon board? What is that supposed to do? Alright, give me a second and let me go pee. Okay, I'm back. So there's a few things I want to do to make sure that the entry cost of this build is not the highest. But in theory, right? If I were to put in a squire into this setup and a 9 link, I would lose 2 levels of minion, 2 levels. That's not good for survivability because that takes our 500Ks, 400Ks down to... Why is this taking forever, man? What the hell? The fuck? How did this get switched or added chaos damage, my guy? Okay. So 19. It takes it down to 400k, 300k, and 200k. So like that's not ideal. So we're gonna have to figure out something else we could do for its defenses. But with a two-handed mace, with that, we just need a weapon that has like early damage, crits, you know, generic things, and then we can then have added fire damage to have phase as extra fire. We full send physical damage because this converts 50% of its physical damage to lightning by default, and if we just convert the remaining 50% to like the other elements, that's cool. Maybe we want to avoid blue on the triad grip because 50% is already to lightning, so 2 red, 2 green on the triad's grip to do 25% cold, 25% fire, or even 3 green, 1 red. So it's like what is it, 1535, something like that. 35%, 15 being fire and 35 being cold. I don't think it matters too much. Either way, we then full send the physical portion with aura scaling for hatred. There'll be aura scaling for hatred. If we want, we can still go Wilma's to get a lot of attack cast speed to then have decent attack rates. The helmet becomes more important, and honestly, at that point, I would honestly just love to go Formless Inferno, because with the use of even just 1 banner and this node, we are giving them a bunch of fire damage as above cap, so they just gain a bunch of health. That should instantly solve all survivability issues I have at the cost of like 30% of my fire res, which is fine. Like it's fine. I don't care. Like I'm 10 under cap right now, but I also don't have a glove that I could just put. So if I go for a unique glove, then that becomes a problem. I need to find somewhere else to do it. But otherwise I'm chilling. But yeah, we would also need to make sure its entry cost is not the highest. But let's see. This is the default. Let's copy it and let's do 12 link, and let's see what a 12 link would look like with this setup. Then for here, we're going to do the same thing. Copy 12 link, save, switch there. Okay, now let's make the 12 link, right? It's going to be a mace, so we can have that enchant we just saw, the phase as extra of each. Is it a 1-hander or a 2-handed mace? Let's say 2-handed mace. Okay. So 2-handed mace, we have to find one that has a modifier. You know what? AoE seems chill. I think AoE is... Increased AoE is probably what we want, just for better wave clear. So area damage is also really good. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. We want... I mean, the faster it attacks, the better for us. So like, this is not a bad choice. Power driver is 1.2. Power driver is 1.3. Maybe we just pick off of attack speed. Because I do want him to attack quick. Kind of the whole idea, right? Is the AoE worth it? We aren't scaling much AoE, so any sort of AoE is good. That's kind of where the decision comes in. I guess let's just start with power drive and let's see. So we would want a 12 link. So Shaper Elder most likely. And this would be Wed or Socketed. Well, it's going to be 20% more. Shouldn't this be 40%? Am I bugging? Is this because of the base? I guess it is, right? It's a mace, not a one-handed weapon. So you can't support it with a squire because it's two-handed. So then the mods are diluted for that reason, which is why you would want a one-hand offhand instead. So I guess this one doesn't really pair well with that idea simply because it's a two-handed. This would probably pair better with using the chest piece, so maybe that's what we're gonna try. Let's look for a better enchant for one-handed. Going with this phase as extra approach to it. Nothing so far has anything I care about. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe this one is two-handed too, but like even that was already meh. These are all two-handed too. Two-handed. There's just okay, so there is a crit chance enchant. Wasn't sure. I haven't seen a single good good one hand enchant that's good for this specific situation. Maybe this one with shock, because odds are going to be shocking since we're critting. Nah. And I think all these flat damage bonuses, by the way, are just boring. So if we want to play around with enchants, I think the two-handed mace is the way to go. But I don't think it's the way to go for a 12 link weapon. I don't think it's the way to go for a 12 link weapon. Okay. With that in mind, we're going to just basically make what we made before, but with the idea of using, instead of using 12 link, we're going to go for this non-12 link, so the 7 link on the chest piece, giving the AG. What am I saying? This is not, what am I doing? I'm bugging. This is the AG's weapon, right? So it doesn't matter because he's not going to use socketed gems. My brain just stopped working for a good like 10 minutes. This is the AG's weapon, so we're just going to be crafting it with basic essence things, and this is where what the 12 link would be in, what I am wielding, and we can use a one-handed ourselves. It doesn't have to be the AG that has that. Okay, good. My brain is not working. Okay, so mace. What can we have on the mace that's good? We want to scale physical damage to the moon. So we're probably going to want to essence craft flat fizz. So contempt. This is of course probably going to be cancelled to craft, but as an entry, I'm gonna make the entry first. This is what the entry should look like. You have this, then you spam this until you get like a decent roll of fizz and accuracy hybrid, because this has a higher weight, and your prefixes are done. You then use can have up to, and then you block your last prefix, and then you reforge attack speed or crits. In this case, I want to reforge attack speed. Let's say I get decent attack speed. I want empty everything else. If this is not empty, I could just block it again, go again, and try to get only one suffix or a decent roll attack speed. And I want that attack speed to be the only thing. So prefixes cannot be changed at all until either attack speed or a reroll. Anyways, attack speed, and then we have can have up to 3. So then we're going to use can have up to 3, and the 3 modifiers we're going to be crafting are fizz, increase fizz. We are going to be going a whole lot of fizz as extra. We technically don't need to convert our fizz to LE, but we probably want to. There is a rune craft to convert some of these to lightning damage, but that's besides the point. So we'd want increased fizz as the prefix, 130%. Because we don't care about bleeding, we don't care about poison, we don't care about impale. It's just pure increased fizz. So like this. And then that takes care of the last prefix slot. And then for the last suffix slot, we just benchcraft crits, so we can more easily scale crits by giving this base crits. So just benchcraft this crits, and then we want to add the enchant, which is, well, I guess the enchant is not going to be in the entry weapon, so we're going to leave it at this. And now we're going to put AG mace. Add to build. And then switch the AG to using the mace. Big DPS drop. Why was there a big DPS drop? Because we currently don't have all the avenues to scale what we want to scale. So let's just do that real quick. For auras, we have haste, purity of elements, and general's cry. Is that all? Surely that's not all. Surely it's not all. That is all. Oh yeah, we have infused. We do have this. And if we're going to be doing this, we're going to be going for this one too. We age your smiting. I think Defiance and Dread are the way to go, because War Banner has the more physical, which is not bad, but it only applies to the hits. That applies the smite, not the lightning. So to make sure we don't get that confused at any point, this should probably also be helmets. Probably, let me not think it's empty. So how do we fit this without breaking everything else? How do we fit this? Speaking of fitting it, if we lost the 2 levels from here, I think we also lose access to our 4th Spectre. Also something to keep in mind. So with the current setup, haste is kind of non-negotiable, right? Like kind of very non-negotiable because it's attack cast speed. It gives my AG 62% of each of attack speed. And that's just, I mean, that's Val haste. Regular haste gives 50% attack speed. So it's a lot of attack speed, just this. So purity of elements, I guess you're not as mandatory, but if I remove purity of elements, the problem we're going to see is the moment I do not have a banner, which I do not want it. I don't want play style that if I do not have a banner, I just don't exist. Like I can get deleted. I don't want that. Without purity of elements giving me insane levels of resistances, like it doesn't work, right? So I think at the end of the day, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to replace the Anoint with Charisma so I can fit that alongside everything else I am doing. This being said, I still need to find a gem socket for them to exist in. And right now everything is full. I guess we can remove shield charge. We can remove shield charge. We can put convocation in here. Let's see, shield charge is no longer a thing, so let's just do. I need to replace one more gem. And the reason we need to replace one more gem is because as is, we would need to put shield charge, or I mean not shield charge, hatred and enlighten, because we need to do this and then we need to slap on an enlighten and still switch our anoint to charisma to make it work. Yeah, I think we just have to switch to our amulet is also a non-negotiable spot, so we can't even switch it to something else that'll give us like a free aura like alls or something. So I was looking for Unet, I'm gonna be honest. I'm so not used to using it, but where is badge? Where the hell is badge? I have sorted, so it should be around here. There we go. It's up here. Now we need the enlighten. It doesn't necessarily need to be 4, but we need the enlighten. Yeah, we 100% do, especially with this. I would then need to put auto exertion and generous cry, which you need to fit somewhere else. Maybe I'm trying to do too much. Maybe I drop the charge stacking and I'm able to pursue this avenue. Or I drop the fizz as extra. At least I drop hatred and I continue charge stacking. But missing out on hatred, which is 40% fizz as extra, while you're going to actively scale Fizz just doesn't seem like the smart thing to do. But dropping haste is also not a smart thing to do because you're literally dropping so much attack cast speed. And dropping this, the frenzy charges is dropping. Is frenzy charge increased or more cast speed? I forget. Let's just frenzy. Okay, it's increased. So like, but each one is giving 8% attack speed for me and 4% more damage. So losing 9 of them, or at least not 9, 6, which is the bonus we get, would then be losing 6 of them would be 24% more damage or less damage in this case, and 48% attack speed. So quite noticeable values. Because there's nothing else I can drop. I'm definitely not dropping my defensive. Speaking of which, I don't like my Fizz max it without the defensive. So that's also something I need to address. I'm not a big fan of my Fizz max hits. I'm not a big fan of my AG's max hits. There's a lot of stuff I'm not a big fan of with this variant. We also need to get dexterity on. Intelligence is not an issue because we can just get convening ones, but dexterity will be an issue. We need to get to 155 for haste, which is a problem. Is he haste or is he hatred that needs 155? I suspect it's hatred. Oh no, it's haste. It's haste. Did you watch the Absolution Elementalist? Maybe you get some ideas from that video. Yes, I did. It was a good video. I like it. I can't really do the exact thing like the way he solves physical PDR because he scales Golem and Golem buff effect to Elementalist because he has access to this, which is 100% effective buff on Golem. He also has access to this, which is 25% per Golem, and I think he has like 3 different Golems, so it's like 75% there. And then of course he just picks up Golem buff effect here and he keeps scaling that. I can't really use that for Fizz. I can maybe go for more endurance charges. I would probably need to see how he gets. I think he said he has what 8 endurance charges or something. I have 6, so like that's a good start, but it doesn't fix the problem by itself. I can also technically go spell block at this point, but I think with the spell suppression and the damage remover from the banners from suppressed spells, I don't think I need to worry about spells too much. But I do need to worry about physical attacks. So how am I going to do this? We can't not have convocation. I don't think it's realistic to expect to have convocation from this. We can maybe replace one of the rings with an unset ring and put like convocation in there. That could be something we do. But then we lose damage because we'd be losing attack speed and this is Ghastly IG. We'd be losing well, this is mostly just res, right? So I guess we'd just be losing the increased damage, which is not the biggest deal. So let's do that. Ring, unset ring. we still go for high res. What are we replacing? We're replacing chaos res, lightning res, all res. Basically just res. Chaos res until you get good lightning res. I don't know how you'd get all res on this ring. Crafted res, sure. Let's turn these off. I just go cold and fire, I guess, and hope for the best. Okay. And then get life and resistance prismatic. And that's realistically all we need. Yeah, something like this. This is fine. We were still able to fit it, I guess. I'm not a big fan of how you'd craft this, but anyways, now convocation can move into that ring. Ring 1. Convocation. Then we can have auto exertion, general's cry. Something like this. Yeah. Okay, we've successfully fit everything in. What next? Next, we have a light of meaning here that's carrying our chaos res. We can't do without it. We have forbidden flesh and flame. We can't do without because it's carrying our Aegis defense. Immutable force, so we can run a different pantheon than Brine King. So trying to fit in and adorned in this setup doesn't look like it's the most viable. Let me see, rune crafts. Is don't tell me you're gonna be red. Yeah, okay, it's actually gets calculated. Beautiful. So with that one, we just gained a whole bunch of, well, we gained a whole bunch of DPS. Then the ghastly eye jewel. Is this for the champ setup? Yes, this is for the champ setup. Like I said, I'm really trying to make banners work, but to do that, I need to make it worth switching from a necromancer. And if I can't use war banner, it kind of complicates things a bit. Okay, with all the phases extra we are currently doing, one thing I'm trying not to do is I'm kind of trying not to do physical and elemental damage, and the reason being, if I do physical and elemental, then I can't run either of the reflects. So let's do 2 green, 1 red. Oh god, what do you have? 2 red, 2 green, 1 2 blue. Is there any that has more reds and more greens? No. Yeah, this has the most green, so 2 greens, 2 blues, I guess, is what we're going with. which I guess is also not the end of the world. That was a letdown. So let's see, grip of the council should be better. Nope. Nope. They aren't really scaling my damage all that much, so probably go for like a rare piece of gloves or something. I'm also missing out on just using a big cluster for scaling my attack speed. Yo, this is low-key a headache. TLDR me how the setup works. All right. The TLDR of this current setup, and of course, it's still a work in progress, and it's honestly something we might end up dropping, but I think it's a cool idea, and I'm really trying to make it work. But the TLDR is we're using AG of Smiting to where is it's here. We have AG of Smiting with a two-handed mace so that it can have the enchant gain 40% of weapon physical damage as extra elements, and we're just scaling the physical damage the weapon is producing as much as we can, so that we can then gain a whole bunch of extra elements, and then we're trying to scale off of that. But the core of the idea that I think is pretty neat is using a woman's recruiter, which makes increases to cast speed applied to attack speed. So you know how, for example, every source of minion attack speed typically comes with minion cast speed, like here. That gives 4% attack speed and cast speed, right? So instead of it being only 4% being used, it's going to use 8% as cast speed, because as attack speed rather, because the cast speed gets converted to attack speed, or is treated as attack speed, if that makes sense. Anyways, so we're using Woman's Recruiter, we're using Soul Ascension to give our AG some souls, you know. This should be able to give us a lot of attack speed on a single target. This is where the bulk of our damage would be coming from. We have Legacy of Fury, you know, we have Doppelganger to try to get our phase max it a bit higher on the AG. And for ourselves, we are going charge stacking to make it so we're giving the AG a whole lot of attack cast speed from frenzy charges. In this case, we're getting up to 9 power charges, we're getting up to 9 frenzy charges. And we're giving this to the AG via the Devourer of Minds, which makes it so max endurance, frenzy, and power charges of you applies to minions. So they have the max, and then the amounts you have is also applied to them. So they don't really need charge gen. You just need charge gen, and the counters having that. And then we're mixing this with the Ralakesh because they actually they work together. So we're using the Ralakesh on ourselves to then count as having the maximum amount of charges, which would then give our minions the maximum amount of charges. And again, we're charge stacking to have 9 frenzy, 9 power, and 6 endurance. So all these are going into the AG. And again, and then the rest is just going into these two ideas of scaling charges and scaling modifiers that have attack and cast speed for your minions. So like we have Onslaught, where we plan on using Onslaught Spectre. We plan on using just, you know, things like that to just really scale the two aspects. And ideally at the end of the day, we're going to have something like this where we're going to be attacking a stupid amount of times per second, but it is not easy to get. I'm also just thinking of dropping one of these ideas because, I mean, on top of everything, we still have the banners that we're going to be running. But the reason I'm thinking of dropping something is we're just using so many uniques that it's crazy. This is giving us 2 power charges and in turn 2 frenzy charges because of our badge with the Brotherhood, which makes max frenzy charges equal to max power charges. So, you know, Edvardo B, thank you for the follow. How you do it? Welcome. So yes, I'm raising Malachi's loop. I would like to have a minion shield, but I can't. Devourer Minds has 1 level of minion skill gems, which is okay, you know, it's fine. Perfidy, Radakesh. I think I've gone through everything. And at this point, it's just damage. How do we get the AG's damage to a point where we're happy with? Because I think if I were to look at what people have done with AG of Smiting, I think people have achieved more damage with him using less. I should just keep I should probably keep this video handy. But anyways, if I go PoE, animate Guardian of Smiting, see 68 mil DPS, and all they just use is a forge weapon, Void Forge. They have 700 of weapon phase damage as extra elements and AoE for attacks, and then you gain insane DPS from that. So I could just go a forge weapon at the end of the day, but that is, to me, it feels like the boring way to do it. But that being said, it's probably not that bad, because I think Void Forge is right now like 11 divines. PoE.co. Like Void Forges, I don't think are the most expensive items out there. They're actually pretty cheap because people love their rare weapons right now. 11 divines. So yeah, you just gain 700% of weapon phase as extra damage of a random element. And literally, if I had to just go in my current POB that I just made right now, and I had to slap in a Void Forge, I have a feeling I do more damage than what I'm looking at here. Just slapping a Void Forge. So we're looking at 8.3 versus the power driver that has 9.7. Okay. It's less, but now let's see what this person does to scale the damage of their AG of Smiting. Matters? I guess because it's a unique weapon, you can't scale crits like that. I also don't want to use that helmet. I'm going to stay the fuck away from this helmet as much as I can. I find it interesting. We have minion life, damage. And of course, it's a necromancer, so feasting fiends, renewal, vicious bite. So crit scaling to the moon. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I should try to scale crit a whole lot more than I currently am. Because the thing is, I'm scaling crits. I just didn't find the points to invest into like this as an example. Or vicious bites, you know. Maybe I should lean more into my crit scalings. Get vicious bite here. Maybe that's the play. I don't know. It's obviously the easy way to go. I can make crits kind of work. Why do I have life from death? Why do I have these nodes again? Oh yeah, I remember why now. I think, well, life from death. I'm not doing this for recovery. I'm doing this for minion life, so my AG of Smiting isn't squishy. What does his AG of Smiting's life look like? Honestly, what people are okay with in terms of maxing, because I feel like I'm also worrying a lot about that. Oh, it is change of command. Never mind. It's change of command. I thought it was AG of Smiting. Okay, this isn't change of command. 37 mil using Rakiata's dance. What is this? Gale sights. Chance to inflict brittle. Oh, so you just gain flat crits once this procs. This is not bad. Not bad. Explode chest, soul ascension, and this. What do your custom configs look like? Ah yes, ah yes. You have 200% attack speed, of course, but I don't think that's the bulk of your damage, boys. This is assuming you have 20 Soul Eater stacks. If actually no. Each Soul Eater stack I think gives Soul Eater. I think it's 5%, right? Yeah, 5%. Oh, by the way, this is another source of both attack and cast speed that Wilmar's Requital converts everything to attack speed. So at 5% attack speed per stack, at 10 stacks, you're at 50% attack speed. So this is at 40 stacks. And for 40 stacks, this is assuming your AG has hit for 20 whole seconds. Because you can only gain a stack every half a second. So you're at 20 mil DPS, my guy. Well, I guess this isn't completely fair. I should put this at 50. Bruh, can I press backspace? This should be 50. I use 50 as a fair one. You know, you just start hitting a rare. You have like 10 seconds of ramp up time. You know, so 24-ish mil. Still not bad. Still not bad. Converted to lightning and then phase gain as cold. I'm learning more from you in these 2 hours that it's just having play. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm honestly just ranting because like I'm literally just dissecting POBs and trying to figure out what I can try to do on my build and what could potentially work. But I'm happy that that has educational value. You know. So, but by the way, welcome. This is your first message. How are you? So we have lightning. So he's scaling all 3 elements. So he has mostly lightning because he has 50% to lightning. And then we have cold, we have fire. He has hatred, so that's where his cold comes from. Where does his fire come from? Gale sight? I mean, this is increased. Oh, he gets increased. He gets flat fire on his jewels. And he uses wrath and smite. Does he manually cast smite, or where is this smite coming from? Because AG of smiting doesn't give that buff, so he has to be casting smite himself. Is he even using a melee? No, he's not. He can't cast smite. Wait a second. POB, are you doing something funny? No, you're not. By the way, what is this custom for? Oh yeah, the custom is for smite from my Spectre because I plan to use perfect blasphemer. That's why I have the custom there. So yeah, this doesn't give like smite buffs. So where are you getting smite from? Aura oh, you're using perfect blasphemer. Wait a second. Hold up. I'm using perfect blasphemer and I don't have that. Did it reset? Maybe I never added this. Because I know I had to manually add this stats. So let's see. Perfect blasphemer. Oh, there we go. Alright. So we can now go deactivate this. It doesn't apply twice. Alright. That's fair. So now we have that smite properly going, and then we go back in here. 24 mil. So his average hit does 3.7, 3.8. And then he's able to hit 6 times a second, so 24 mil DPS. What does our average hits currently do, and how can we scale that? Ours currently does 736k. How do we scale this? He scales it by probably using clusters with renewal. Again, I got distracted. What is your max hit? 710, 710, 300, 200. So not bad. Very not bad. If I go into your AG page again, we have explode chests. Crusader Hunter with explode and flat crits. Surprised you didn't go for like a separate curse. And then this is Tailwind if you've dealt a crit. Increase effect of non-damaging ailment. So your shocks. Oh ho ho! We have seen a culprit. I mean, this is not necessarily wrong. By the way, this could actually be accurate, but I can't tell how much shock I would be doing until I play test it in game, for example. I also don't like his max hit because is his defensive on? Don't tell me he doesn't have a defensive. My goodness, he don't got no defensive. He just went ham on this. He's just like, yo, we doing this. Okay, no, he has Molten Shell. Wait, so this max hit includes Molten Shell? Oh. I was so confused. Okay, this is better. Okay, this makes more sense. I'm like, yo, how are you even surviving with that res? Like, yeah, I wasn't on his actual stuff. Without any flasks up and no defensive, how reliable is his defense? Not bad. How is he getting his fizz defense? I'm guessing he has a Chaos Golem somewhere. He does. Does he scale aura effect? No, he does not. He's a Guardian. Oh, so he also has this. So this is where a good chunk of the damage from hits is also going to go to. Assuming he summons that, of course. He also gets 3 auras from this. I believe there's nothing stopping his auras. Yeah, he's not using Raid Lord, so he should be fine on this. Chance to block and then just regen, yada yada. Straightforward stuff. So he's really just getting most of his damage from clusters, because if you look here, he has 600 increase and 420 more. With 420 more coming from his support gems, you know, his minion damages, the multi-strikes, and then his increase coming from those clusters. Like, these are all the clusters. And then you also have, like, his Convoking one has some minion damage. His Convoking one is crazy. It has fractured 93%. It also has 30% implicit and the enchant. He doesn't go attack cast speed here, which is interesting. He goes crits. But he's really trying to keep this crit chance at 100%, I guess. But isn't he overcapped at this point? Yeah, he's overcapped by like 6%. Or 51% increased crit chance. Easiest place for him to drop this. But there is no actual... Wait. There is. He can literally drop the crit chance on this shield and he'd still be capped. Like literally, if we go into his fossilized spirit shield, I don't think we can adjust it because I think this is in-game PoE. Yes, but he can technically drop this and he'd still be capped. But anyways, he's using the helmet I don't like, so he has that scaling that I would prefer not to have, I guess. Is he not using the helmet? Oh, he's not using the helmet. Okay, never mind. He also has levels to animate Guardian gem here, which improves his animate Guardian levels, which is one of the biggest downsides to charge stacking, because if you go badge of the Brotherhood, you don't have access to this. And even if you do not get a replica Dragon Fang, you can literally still get an Unetos, slap on an Awaken Empower 4, and get 5 levels to your enemy guardian, and that should really boost your his survivability and damage all the same in that one gem. But because I'm trying to do this niche thing of charge stacking, I don't have access to that. So again, I might still drop charge stacking. I'm very on the fence about it. It's taking my helmet slot, it's taking my shield slot, it's taking my amulet slot, it's taking my boot slot, all just so he can have 9 power and 9 frenzy, and that's it. Whereas with my shield, I can give him crit chance, I can give him damage, I can give him level, I can give him attack cast speed, can't roll, but I can give him life. Because again, I'm worrying about his safety. I don't want him to die. So I am thinking if there's any one setup I'll drop, it's the charge stacking. I will leave the Wilma's Requital because I still want to play around with that. But I will drop the charge stacking. I do also like the idea of his brittle. This chance for brittle, pretty smart, because what brittle does, if you don't know, it gives you, I think, it gives you a +2 to base crits, something like that. I think it's +2, right? If I look here, is 5 plus 7.52. So you see this. This might be brittle. He has +4 in custom, and I assume that's for, yeah, brittle. But is brittle +5 +4 or is it +2? I thought it was +2. Hits against brittle have up to +6 this based on the cold damage of the hit that inflicted this ailment. So it's based off the damage or the ailment threshold. So you really, if you go with this helmet, I think he did it well with going the helmet and this mod on the boots, the increased effect of non-damaging ailments, because that mod on the boots would also improve his brittle to potentially give in +4 or more than the base of, I have to assume the base is +2. Yeah. So if it's not a hit damage, it's going to be +2. So that's why I have +2 in my head. But it can actually go up to +6 if it's from a hit. So in theory, he can actually get a decent chunk of. Of course, this is PoB. We can't actually say if in game he's actually getting +6 or not, because we don't know. This is not something you can estimate on PoB, because different bosses have like different ailment thresholds, and as such you need a hit of a specific amount to then trigger a specific effect. This is why shock is notorious in calculations, because it's hard to predict. Like, for example, I don't think he's gonna hit 30% shock on Uber bosses. Pinnacle bosses, I doubt it, but he has increased effect of ailment, so it could be possible. I don't know for a fact, but it's possible, you know. He went double on set ring. That's interesting. So yeah, he literally just went rare pieces all around. This almost looks, it doesn't look like. Then he has additional curse. What are his curses? I saw punishment earlier. I'm assuming he also has early weakness. What are his curses? Assassin's Mark. Okay, so Assassin's Mark is also giving him base crit. So he's really pushing that base crit. He's like Assassin's Mark for the base crits. He's going brittle for the base crits. He's going what else is he doing for that base crit? He's doing a lot so his base crit can be high. And as you can see here, his base crit is like 12%. With a 12% base crit, it's very easy to scale, because then you only need what is this, 800% increased, 700% increased, and he's at 100% and he's over capped. So you only need 700% increased realistically. But that's because he scales it so much, right? He would also have to press 2 different curse buttons, which I don't particularly like. If I had my way, one of them would be here. For example, the punishment would be there. Why punishment though? Is he ignoring early res? Oh wait, he is. He's using Rakiata, so he doesn't need to worry about resistance. So he doesn't need conductivity or early weakness, because this inverts the resistance. So if you were to reduce their resistance via curse, via scorch, via anything of this sort, it reduces the effectiveness of inverting their resistances. Because if anything, you actually want to boost their resistances, because if they're at 40% res, it's treated as minus 40. So you want them to actually be like capped on res, like plus 75. So when Rakiata's dance hits them, it's counted as minus 75, versus if you were to reduce it, then it goes to like 20 and it counts as minus 20. So you can easily tell which one will have more damage. So this is maybe where you might want to throw in a Eye of Malice, is it? Yeah, Eye of Malice. This should give them 50% increased fire and cold res. That'll take their fire and cold res up, and then you can then invert it to go all the way down. But you would have to wear this, or your AG has to wear this. Someone would have to wear it. Probably your AG, because he also has inflict exposure. But anyways, I like the way he is scaling the damage. It's an expensive build, but I like it. I like it. I especially like the fact that it does not use well, it doesn't use witch, so he isn't really getting defenses for his minions from his ascendancy. So it's interesting to see how he's scaling his minion defenses to get max hits of 700k, which in this case I think he's mostly doing a whole lot of increased life. How is he getting all this increased life? He has a lot of things, increased life from the tree. He's using like Dread March. He's using a lot of medium clusters to get Hulking, Dread March, Renewal, Hulking. Like he's really trying to get, he's doing the same thing I'm doing, which is really trying to get that life up. Then aside that, he's using a whole lot of flat base crit increases to get his crit chance to the point where he doesn't need to invest too much into like crit chance. Like this, for example, does nothing for him because he's overcapped. And at that point, once he's capped, he just has to scale crit multi, and multi is just, it's just multiplying. So, and then of course he has a lot of increased damage. So he spends a lot of points on clusters. So now, if I were to use something similar for my build, how would what would I have to do? I would have to trim the points on my tree. I definitely can't go for this one. I might be able to go for here. I like the idea of this, but if the goal is to fit in a second cluster to then fit in 2 mediums, then this is not an option. And again, I only path here because I want the maximum power charge. So yeah, I think instead of stacking power charges, I'm actually going to drop the power charge idea. I think that is the most limiting factor in the build. I don't think it's worth the investment. And he goes, yeah, obviously. And it's ironic too, because most people would pass through here to try to get here, but because we're not witches, we have to go through here for the minion life, just so our AG doesn't die. But I guess because it's AG, right, you don't want AG to die. So I think I'm going to cut out that entire area. I'm going to drop charge stacking. So we're just going to do this. We're going to go in here so we make sure we do not remove this, remove this, remove that. That being said, we have Guardian, Spirit, Blasphemer as our 3. What is this? Turtle, Spirit, Blasphemer. Oh yeah, Forest Warrior. There's Forest Warrior. We do not have Frenzy Monkey, and as such, this is not an option. So we are gonna be going none of this. We don't need Devour of Minds anymore. We don't need Ralakesh. We don't need Badge of the Brotherhood. Like, look at all that investment just to get freaking charges. Like, it's not worth it. Right now, I'm better off just scaling rare of this. A rare shield. And keep in mind, by dropping all of these uniques, I'm able to actually cap my res and potentially drop Purity of Elements. I might not, because then I have to figure out ailment immunity from, let's say, Storm Shroud, but I kind of don't want to. So I'll probably keep Purity of Elements. Not to mention, Purity of Elements also keeps my AG ailment immune, which I like. Between Aegis and Svalin, which one is tankier? It depends on your build. It's very dependent on that. But if I had to say, all things being equal, Svalin makes you tankier. But here's what I mean. If you're using an CI build, Aegis has the added benefit of whenever you block, you're going to gain some of your energy shield back. So you're just gaining health as you block, right? Svalin has no such thing, but Svalin blocks more damage because for every 10 attacks, Svalin on average should block 8.8, or if you scale it a bit more, 9 attacks out of those 10. So only 1 in those 10 will hit. But with Aegis, you have 2.5 getting through. If you scale the attack block a bit more, it's still 2 point something or 2. But you still have 2 attacks going through. But for those 7 attacks that were blocked, let's say you take damage and block the next one, Aegis would have more health than Svalin after they just take damage. So in many cases, Aegis can be tankier. In many cases, Svalin can be tankier. Like for example, my last build used Svalin's 90% block to use a defensive layer like Aspect of the Crab, which makes it so there's a stacking. You have a stacking buff that has PDR, and when you take physical damage, it clears the stacks. It uses the PDR, and you have to stack again, right? By having Svalin, I don't get hit as often, so when the hit does come in, I have the PDR to mitigate it. That would be a significantly worse defense on something like an Aegis. But if you were to stack a lot of maximum ES and your max hit is fine, with an Aegis you just cannot die to multiple hits. Like, they can throw as many hits at you as they want, your health is never going to drop. It's like, basically, so long as the damage they are doing is not more than the damage you are regenerating when you block, because you're blocking way more than you are taking, it is going to be very hard for them to use smaller hits to kill you. Whereas with Svalin, they can still, if they have enough hits, they can still kill you. With the Iron Flask, Svalin with Ward Shield cannot be broken, you might be immortal. You don't even need this Svalin in that case. All you need is a big enough Ward Shield, and so long as nothing does more damage than that Ward Shield, you are pseudo immortal. You don't need this Svalin there. You don't need, with the Ward Shield, it takes enough investment to where you don't want to actually use a block from Svalin. You don't use any those layers, because if you do that, then you essentially have no more resources to allocate into DPS for your build, because you already took so much to get to your Iron Flask reduced effects, to your charges gained, to offset all the downsides, your ailment immunity, your dot mitigation, you know, all of these things. It already took so much that by the time you're done, you do not have the wiggle room for more defenses. Unless your build that kind of scales off of that. What do I mean? You see how you scaled max ward for that damage? If I remember correctly, there's some tech that Balor Mage released or posted, like, was it today, yesterday, something like that, recently anyways, where there's a glove that has that converts a percent of your max ward into flat chaos damage. I think it also lets damage go through your ward or something, so it kind of might break the defense. I don't fully remember, but like something like that. If you're able to use a build that can take advantage of your beefy defensive layer to then turn that into offense, then that's how you really get those very, very strong builds that have like insane tankiness and insane damage, because you're using the defense to scale your damage and using the damage to scale your defense. if that makes sense. A big example of this is like popcorn builds with minions. In theory, like looking at the minion specific, not even the player, the minion specifically, because you're scaling so much minion life, you're scaling so much minion resistance and all of that, your minions are supposedly very tanky if you were not trying to kill them. Why? Because by scaling the life, you are gaining damage. And by the time you're done, you have a very tanky minion that you're trying to kill, you know, for big damage. If that makes sense. Basically, TLDR, any build that's able to use suffixes as a damage multiplier should typically have a higher damage ceiling and should be tankier on average than those that can't. In many cases, minion builds can't. I don't even remember what work item I was trying to craft here, I'm gonna be honest. Oh yeah, I think I was trying to make a shield. I was trying to make a minion shield that has life, importance, minion crit chance, important, and level also important, minion life important. I want to put minion damage, but I feel like that would be an unrealistic shield. Or you can craft it, I guess. You can probably recombinate craft a shield like that with minion skill, minion life, minion damage, minion crits. You can probably do that. Green Froggy, thank you for the follow. How you doing and welcome. You can probably use recombinators to do that, but for now we're just going to do something like this, and we can try to make it more expensive later down the line. I kind of just want to see the baseline too. For the helmets, do I have a unique helmet I want to put here? This is AG of Smiting. I do not have a particular helmet I would like here, I don't think. So because of that, we're going to go for +2 minion helm. We can go for a pure armor base. I don't think I want Giant Slayer because I know it has like really high strength requirements, and I think I might use my strength for tattoos for a chance to avoid bleed or something down the line, and I don't want to have to change the base. So we want life, we want level of our minions. Green Froggy with a T1 sub, I appreciate you. What's going on? Thank you. How you doing today? How are you? Here we just get res, we get stats, we get dexterity. Thanks for the shield. Oh, you asked the shield question? Oh yeah, no problem. I'm happy to answer any question that I have the knowledge to answer. So if you have any other questions that you think I can answer, shoot. I'm more than happy to. More than happy. Okay. So, how are we gonna scale this? I have an idea. But it would involve dumping like a whole portion of like gems, and I don't know how I feel about that. But hear me out. If I were to create a 4-link for my curse, and I use an anathema, and I went Assassin's Mark for the flat crits, I went early weakness, which I think I can get my AG to have early weakness, but just in case I can't spare the chest piece, I'm just going to free it for now. But anyways, early weakness and then punishments. That would be really high amounts of DPS. Do I even have the points I want? Is a question I should ask. I always like doing this instead. I guess I could also put something here for the same kind of cluster with Vicious Bite. And I should probably just... I should put some defensives in here. So the question here is, do I want to take the time to try to fill out a 12 on passive cluster with Vicious Bite and a defensive? Or do I just want to go ham on like 3 different not 12 passive clusters? I guess let's try the 12, see if we can fit it and go from there. I think I'm going to switch Life from Death to something else. I would rather have like Dread March or literally anything else than Life from Death. So let's do Dread March. Yeah, let's do Dread March. Because I don't expect any minion to die to then give the regen and yada yada. So it just seems counterproductive. So yeah, we'll do something like this. We might have to shave off some points elsewhere, but what do my max hits look like? They look trash. AF. Why do they look so bad? They're even worse than the Chaos because my Chaos has Doppelganger reducing the damage. I can't fill 2 clusters like this. What I need to do is I'm going to need to move, like do this so I can then have +8. I think this is an important part of this. I need to have that +8 to scale my elemental max hits. Because with 500k, it's kind of decent. Like I can get behind this. Kind of. We have to make the points for this. If we dumped this and this, that'd be 8 points saved. So instead of trying, and we're still just at 8 mil DPS, I just don't, I feel like it just doesn't work because of, oh wait, I just realized I'm still speccing into that power charge. Not needed. I'm not going for charge stacking anymore, so very not needed. I don't need this either. That was from when I was considering blood magic. I also kind of just need this as well. I need that, but then we're at 5%. This is because we dropped charisma, because we dropped the amulets. So then the question is, what amulet do I want? I have the option of, what are my options? All's Uprising for a free aura, which would help my unreserved mana a lot. But I don't want that because minion survivability. So I'm more leaning towards Replica Dragonfang or Unetals. Now with Replica Dragonfang, I get 3 levels on the AG. And 3 levels on this AG is very decent survivability and damage. So if I were to just do Dragonfang, I have to edit this to say animates Guardian Gems. That should be exactly what I would need to then have the, yeah, it works. So like the damage increase, you see that? It's because it works. So then we can see AG just gained a few levels if we go in here. He's now level 29, and his max hits just went up by not noticeable amounts. Is this because I think it's because I dropped these clusters here? Probably because of that. Is there any 3 points I can drop anywhere? I don't think there are. I need the explode from here. I need all the masteries I'm getting. Oh wait, I just remember that that's a thing. So wait, it counted twice? I don't think this is meant to count twice. Oh wait. I might be missing something. Is the enemy taunted? Okay. That's already there. If that's already there, then I use frenzy endurance charges. My minions use endurance charges. We don't use frenzy or power charges. We both have onslaughts. It's like if you're wondering why I'm so persistent on this build and on making banners work, just look at this number right here. This number is all the reason I need. I want this number to be on the minion build. Like, granted, it's only when I'm in banner, bro. I have the banner effect for 3 seconds. That being said, something to note about this wording is you have the banner effect when you leave, not your allies. Wait, okay, no, that's the wrong one. It's this one I should be looking at. Yes, banner buffs linger on you for 3 seconds after you leave the air, not your allies, and as such, you don't want your AG fighting without this, because with your AG fighting without this, he's gonna be squishier. He's not gonna have his spell suppress capped. He's not gonna have his block yada. Those defensive layers are not down. So if he's fighting, you want the banner to be down. But the idea behind this is by the time you leave, like by the time you go from, I guess, a pack to the next, you can cast it again, so it doesn't matter. I also don't like this reserve mana, but this is because the replica Dragon Fang also does not have Charisma Anoint just yet. So this should place it to where we have more than enough mana to work with, even if we have trash mana regen. Like, honestly, that mana regen is garbage. I don't know how we fix it, but we have to fix it somehow. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna have to fix it. The good thing is we don't have like big spells we have to cast, but we do have like little spells that do take mana. For example, our banners take mana, like 20 mana and pop. We pop it once and we forget about it, but it's still there. We have Convocation to cast. We have Curse to cast. Anyways, what is the closest minion defensive wheel I have? This is the closest, obviously. This is another close one. This. Are there any others I can't think of? This is genuinely the closest one. And the worst part about this being the closest one is that this is actually the shortest way I can get here. If I were to drop this, no, I can't drop cast speed. I need all the attack cast speed I can get. And again, we have too many gems allocated. I think so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can't have that many. I'm also using Meat Shield, which I kind of want to replace if I can. Meat Shield is the only reason this guy is even as tanky as he is here. He's what did I change? Oh yeah, I think what I changed was banners. I think that was it. turn both of these off. So I've been looking at the maxit without banners on, but I've also just kept banners off because I kind of want to see what my res actually looks like without its interference. Which is why I've been disabling them, by the way. So this is the actual max hits, and I can live with this max hits. So much so that I should also consider Unetals. I like just putting a bit of resistance into it just so people know it's not a blank amulet. It actually has stats, because POB doesn't show 0%. It's just the stat doesn't exist. Anoint with charisma. So if I were to replace replica dragon with this, we go from 7.2 to about 6.9. The difference though is less in the damage and more in the survivability. This is with what's it called? It is with banners on. So you can tell it's not nearly as good. But to counter that, we can replace the meat shield, I guess, with empower. This gives us the 3 levels. Now the last one had meat shield, so it probably still survives us, but the DPS difference should be noticeable. It's not that noticeable. It's like 200k extra. But then again, we still have missing pieces, but like 200k extra. We are almost at the level where we start getting diminishing returns from putting points in levels into the AG. In case you're wondering, that's level 30. From level 30, he stops gaining, what was his stat? I think, was it 2% damage to 1% damage or something like that? You can check his PoE DB, but at level 30, he falls off in the amount of stats he gains per level. And that's just typically the trend with most minions. Predator should still be the best. Now I can't afford to use woke minion damage in this setup. It's not even a possibility because like these max hits are low enough as is. Is there anything I can do in the AG side of things to make him tankier? I guess I could go for like tankier boots. But no. I have a double Ganga's guys, and I guess that doesn't help non-physical hits, but this is literally carrying his physical hits. I also need to still put points in here. So I also just kind of have to figure out a whole bunch of stuff. I need to trim points from somewhere to put there. There's a lot I need to do. Maybe the play here is to get a smaller cluster for this one, and then try to put some points into these. Because like if I were to find a way to like actually incorporate the gems, this is what his max hits would look like, 700k, and I can live with 700k. I would like it to be higher, but I can live with this. You know, I can actually live with this, so because then his life is at 73k. His ES is non-existent, but that's fine. But I need to literally remove 11 points from somewhere to do this, and if I had to remove, like, shorten this, then I get to save 2 points. I think it's 2 points, so then I only need 9 points, but 9 points are a lot to try to trim. 9 points are a lot to try to trim. I don't know where I'd begin to trim, because the banners are kind of non-negotiable. They are just there. It is what it is. They're you're there. Endurance charges are non-negotiable. Life nodes are non-negotiable. At the end of the day, the most negotiable things are the clusters themselves. And this is not even talking about like going for something like this, like actual crit nodes. So maybe before I even go for this vicious bite with 30-15, I should go for this that has 20 and then 60-20, you know. Probably. I'll play around with this idea a bit more. Definitely I'll play around with it. Again, we are probably going to look at 12 link weapons because the showcase or crouching tuner's guide filled me with the confidence to slam my head against that wall, as frustrating as it might be. So I might look into making one. Would it be fun? I don't know. Probably frustrate the fuck out of me, but it'd be good content, worst case scenario, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. CDT or Central. It's been fun. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate y'all. And good night.